like you're dying before you actually die if you just stay in a situation that you don't want to be in out of complacency. I think if people have goals to like go to the moon, I think the least I could do is set a goal of prioritizing my mental peace over maintaining social norms. Hello. I've decided to document my feelings at the end of each day. I've been exploring this idea of having entertainer energy. I'm definitely not an entertainer, but I just have the tendency to get around people and want to make them feel comfortable. So sometimes even if I'm talking to a person on the phone or anything of that sort, there's this need to nurture them. I'm working on that, but a huge part of working on it is really just isolating every once in a while and not even bothering to reach out, because life comes in ebbs and flows. Like socializing comes and it goes. Just like getting too many ads, like just like constantly getting advertisements. It's like that in conversation too. It's like when you're talking to other people, a lot of the time they're either assuming you think the same way they do, or they're like promoting their thoughts. I do like to just be in my own mind. I even like to kind of not listen to music or anything of that sort, at least music that has words in it, because it all comes off kind of preachy to me, especially when I'm in this particular headspace. And so mostly just classical tunes for me right now. I don't even want to listen to a podcast. I just want to be in my own thoughts. There's been a whole bunch of changes in my life. Like, I was no longer happy in my relationship, so I decided to leave it. It almost felt like a safety thing. I started to not feel safe mentally or emotionally being myself with him or his family, really. It felt like they were getting accustomed to my kindness. They kind of expected it. And I've always known that if I am to be in a relationship, the person would need to feel this sense of protection over my energy. And I know that like that's wrong, because I should want to protect my own energy, which I do. Like, I do want to protect my own energy as well, but there's this piece of me that feels like if I'm gonna be with a person and give up not caring about how another person feels, I feel like in exchange for that, I shouldn't have to be cautious. And for me personally, if I'm gonna be with a person, then that person should want to look out for me. And if I have to intervene and be like, well, you're going too far, call me sensitive, but that, especially if I have to do it over and over again, that means that like I naturally just categorize that person with everyone else, because everyone's gonna do that. If you are the type of person that's a giver, then the saying, give an inch, people take a mile. So if in the comfort of my own home, I'm dealing with, giving inches and miles being taken, then that doesn't feel like home to me. And it's possibly because I'm a sensitive person. I'm definitely highly sensitive, meaning I pick up on everything. Every sensation, I'm using it really mostly all the time. So because of this, I don't even like something as slight as being in my own home and having to be protective over my own energy. Like, I understand if it's like my child, but that also is largely in part that they don't know any better. So it's kind of my role to teach them how to pick up on the cues that they are possibly draining, and that's like obviously when they get to the age where they even have the emotional intelligence to even do that, which is nowhere under like really what I feel age like 14 or probably even later than that. So I'm not really expecting that much from like, my puppy or my son, but from my partner, they're an adult, so they know what they're doing. And it's just something about the fact that like everyone's already doing that to me, so I cannot feel like I am at home in my house if my partner is going to do that to me. And I know a lot of women probably feel that way, and they're like, well, just deal with it. It's just how it is with guys. I get that, but I'm visualizing a different life for myself, I guess. The life that I'm trying to lead does not demand that I uphold this social standard of being with anyone. And I'm not saying that I'm even strong enough to execute that, but what I'm saying is I think if people have goals to like go to the moon and like cure diseases that are currently incurable, I think the least I could do is set a goal of prioritizing my mental peace over maintaining social norms. So that's my piece set on that. As far as the continuation of my update, I am in a hotel right now because we are situating things with my house, because it's my house and I'm a Cancer. Some people don't follow astrology. I do. I'm a Cancer. My house is my safe place, okay? I am not gonna last very long where in my household I have to endure too much emotional strain. I can't. I don't care what the internet says I'm supposed to feel for men in having a relationship. I don't care what really even the Bible says about it. I just can't. Too emotional of a person. I'm too present. I'm like super present all the time. And if in the moments I decide to break that presence and go into a meditative state, it's like difficult because I'm trying to purge like pain or like some kind of rejection or negative energy. It's like, why in my house? I could do that at work. Like, I could do that any other way, like even on my phone. I could do that while I'm scrolling through social media, but then I could lock my phone and put my phone down and then it's over. So I just need that boundary. So, and I've been in like, relationships, and I'm starting to feel like it's like inescapable, at least like for dating later in life. Earlier in life, I do feel that partners are way more malleable. They're not so stuck in their ways, so they're not trying to get anything over on you so that they can maintain their ways, because when they're younger, they're like open to like changing for you, and there's this part of our mind that's still flexible, and we're like maybe even a little curious as to how we could be right for this person and like how we could optimize the experience. But as we get older, I think a lot of people, their mind just becomes more rigid and they're not trying to do all that. Just like working out, like they stop working out. Really, they're not working out that much emotionally and mentally, so they're just trying to be comfortable in their own mind, how they've already had it arranged prior to you coming in their life. I am not really thinking that relationships are going to be for me, and I do think leading a life that is single might be the most comfortable lifestyle for me. And I am saying this because I have a son already, so it's like I don't ever visualize myself as like having no one. So I'm like not that afraid of that concept, because I already like did the deed. In my head, I really perceived like having a son or having a child as like fulfilling my feminine duty to myself so that I don't feel regret. So like now dating, it doesn't really have an end goal for me. I'm in a hotel right now. I have a bonnet on. I don't care. I really want to get this thought out. I want to get these thoughts out. Also, I'm trying to arrange a new life, really. I want to scratch it how it was and just build something new, because, you know, I've gone back and forth with this person a lot, and like either they like don't want to change and they're like tricking me, which I doubt, or they actually are just who they are. And I guess there's nothing wrong with that. That's just who they are, and we disagree on a lot of life, you know, like the ways that they enjoy existence is maybe a little bit more not within the mind and the body. It's like a lot of it's like outside, like just looking at things together. TV, I've never even been really a TV person ever in my life, but when I started being with this person, like we're like constantly watching TV a lot of the time, because conversation really isn't that. So yeah, I'm in the process of trying to build this new life. And I know the whole like grass is always going to be greener thing, but I do believe that our mind is built up off of our formative years. The way that we think all trickles down underneath like these layers of memories that go back to these base memories that really build a lot of who we are. And even though we go through these phases of different things, we'll have the tendency to return to this certain state of being and this certain state of thinking, like a wave. Like we'll go out and see something and then we'll return back. And I'm gonna always come back to this. My mind is not arranged around those values. Maybe after some like serious psychotherapy, you could alter some of these baseline things about yourself, but a lot of the times you can't. Matter of fact, so much of consumerism is based on that. They try to tell you that like, oh, if you take this thing, then it could change everything, when in reality, a lot of those things about yourself are a reflection of a lifestyle that you've been living, and it's worked its way into reality through your appearance in some way. And I also don't care a lot about what people think, so I'm very quick to just do whatever the hell I want to do. I'm not going to be like, oh, but like people are gonna, no, I'll just cut them off. I'll just disappear. Just won't hear from me. Just build a new life. Because in my world, everything is in my own head. I spend a lot of time inside of myself. Can't pretend like a little part of me wishes he did fight a little harder, or maybe was a little bit more eager to compromise with each other's like ways mentally. But it feels like it's a little too late for me to even care. It's too late for me to be still taking it personally. At that point, I would just be wallowing, like you're dying before you actually die. If you just stay in a situation that you don't want to be in out of complacency. So I'm like not trying to just die. Like life is about free will, and if you're not using it, I just don't think you're living. I will always love him, and he is the father to my beautiful, beautiful forest. Eventually I get to thinking like, do they even really like me? Let me give them more time to prove that they really liked me, so that I don't have to feel like I lost. Fuck that. I'm a lose. So yeah, in a hotel tonight, here we are. So yeah, that's night 1.